Hi, people. I'm back. I'm gonna have a lot to talk about. Platform's changing somewhat right now. Ain't talking much about the foots right now. I'm gonna talk about me, the things that I've done, the things I've told you. Uh, Let me start out with one. Some of you have been following me for a long time. Some of you haven't. Ones that have know what I'm saying is factual. Uh, I haven't looked back at the number of videos to see what one I said what on, but if you guys go through the videos, you'll see this. Uh, I've told you guys that foots have led me down the path of where I'm doing. They've sent me places and showed me things and put me in positions to where I'm doing kind of what they want, and I didn't know it. They led me into things, and I'm finding out now this was God's doing. Wasn't the foots. The foots are part of God's doings, but things I've been through was not. They come from God. Now, one time, like I said, all my life I've called things out and they happen. I'm a nobody. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. So I never made anything of it. I just knew things were going to happen, and they did. Uh, what I put out on this video, when I had these call outs, I called them call outs. They're just call outs to me. Things come out of my mouth that I had no thought of. They just blurred out of my mouth. The one that I used on this channel to show you something, I called out several few years back, long time before Mr. Trump was in office. Called out a few years back, hey, we're going to be Canada. Well, when that happened, I remembered it, and I'm doing these videos, and I says, I'm going to put that in the video. I'm going to show you people that what I say is what happens. Years later, Mr. Trump, he's talking about taking in Canada. Now, that's not over with yet. I want you to understand that. They're trying to blow it off like it ain't going to happen from Canada. But let me tell you what's going on right now. Canada's taking everybody's guns away from them. Now, I don't want to make this is not just a political. I'm not just making political statements. I'm stating the facts of what I know, my experiences, and I've got more things to tell you that in the past that I've said. I have witnesses to what I say, and some of them I put on my channel. They've got on there and talk about seeing the foots here and the dog man. You see that on my one video, the witnesses. But things that I've called out, they're happening now. Uh, all I can tell you is anything I speak about is the truth. All the things like, let me go back to the past because I'm going to go into this one thing first. As I went back into the past of my life, years and years ago, uh, I called out. I was in my early 20s, and I called out. I was just around some friends, and it just come out of my mouth. There's 7 different aliens in our world, and all I can do is look at myself and say, "What the hell did I just say?" I remembered it though, and that's what I said. People looked at me like I was stupid, but we're finding out this is a factual thing more than what they're wanting to talk about out of the government. There's a lot of aliens here. You're all going to find out. Okay. Well, that was called out almost 50 years ago. Well, over 50 years ago. I'm 77 now, and I was in my early 20s. That's over 50 years ago. Anyway, many things have happened since. I've called out a lot of stuff, and it just wasn't as minute things, but I knew it before it happened. Just happens. Anyway, uh, in more recent times, like I say, I called out about we're going to be Canada. Like I said, that's not over with because right now the Canadian government's trying to take everybody's guns away from them. They're not allowed to own no guns at all. All that ain't going good up there. So I don't know what the results of it's going to be. I ain't heard much. All I just know is that they're not happy about that at all. That's kind of a gun country up there. They hunt, they everything. That's what they do. They're not happy about it. I haven't watched How to Hunt for a long time. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably really raising hell about it, but that's on him. But good luck to him. But the resolve to that problem for them is to become our 51st state, like Mr. Trump talked about. So that whole country right now is looking at it like, hey, we could have gun rights. We'd have all kind of rights that we don't have. We could have free speech. They could have the things that they don't have now before this ever come up. So I look somewhere in the near future. I don't know how near, but somewhere they're going to fall into the realm of what I said. We're going to be Canada. That's what's going on now with that. Now, the other thing, I got a video I want you to all go look at, uh, just to verify what I've done to let you know that it's definitely for real. It's more than I thought. I mean, I had thoughts of it, but didn't know any facts. Uh, there's a video out there called "The Secrets They Don't Want You to Know." Uh, what is it? High power something? I don't know. "The Secrets They Don't Want You to Know" is a video. It's right now. You have to look it up on YouTube, but it'll show up if you type that in. And it's a story of. Okay, let me start this part. When I was married to my third wife, back then, I used to sleep all night, sleep good, unless there was a strange sound. I'd come out of the bed after strange. I knew what it was, knew where to look, everything. I was alert, but I slept good. I don't do that no more. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning here. I don't sleep very seldom. I nap in the day sometimes, and I just don't get a lot of sleep. Anyway, there's a lot going on up here all the time. Anyway, when I was married to my third wife, I come out of the bed in the middle of the night. I went out and sat in this swivel rocking chair that we had. And I didn't wake nobody up. I just remember sitting by myself. Like, why am I awake? I couldn't imagine why I was awake. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't understand why I was awake. Now I'm sitting there in this chair. I have my feet to the north, my head to the south. That's relevant to this. Anyway, I'm sitting there in that chair and I just went mindless. I had no thoughts. No thoughts at all. I mean, I'm just okay. All of a sudden my body starts shaking and vibrating. Whoa. I jumped up out of that chair like, I don't like that. I did not know what it was. It was something beyond me. So I just went back to bed. I went right back to sleep. No problem. Just went right back to sleep. Well, later, me and the third wife split up. And I was with a girl named Terry. There's a shopping center in Columbus called Eastland Mall. Not Easton, the new one, but the Eastland Mall. It's pretty well shot now. There's not much of it left. But we were walking through there. It was one of the first big malls they had in Columbus. And we're walking through there. It's about Christmas time. She was Christmas shopping, is what we were doing. And I'm walking past the bookstore. Now, this is the other part of it. Okay. I don't read. My reading abilities suck because my mind works fast. I can't read. I screw sentences up. My mind works faster than my eyes. I have to slow myself down to be able to read. I don't like reading. I didn't do good in school because I don't want to read. Math? I done good in math. Yeah. Don't want to read. Study English. No, I don't want to do none of that. So my school sucked. I got a GED eventually, but that didn't really amount to much. But I did accomplish that. The other part of this is now that I verified the fact I don't like to read. We're in the Eastland Mall walking through there, and I turn and I just happen to glance in this bookstore. Why, I don't know. But I look, and there's a rack of books toward the back of the bookstore. It was all the same book. It was on for sale, like some special thing. And I turned, and I automatically walked right back to them books, picked one up, took it to the counter, and bought it. Paid $11 or something for this book. Like, I took it home. What the hell am I doing this for? I really don't know. So I took it home. I said, I guess I'm going to read it. So I started reading it. It was called Out of Body by Robert Monroe. It's not in print anymore, I found out. It's called he printed 3 books. Anyway, explained about what an out of body experience is. An out of body experience is when your spirit can actually leave your physical. You know how some people die and say they go and come back and they're told to come back and all that from their death? That's their spirit going elsewhere. Maybe to heaven, I don't know. Pearly gates, I don't know. But some of them are told to come back, and they tell this story. Uh, my oldest boy's mother, I'm jumping around here, but my oldest boy's mother, she killed herself. She tried 3 times to do it. Now, we wasn't together, but she tried twice before we got together. It's a long story about me and her and our relationship. But anyway, uh, before we got together for a little bit, she had tried a couple of times because her brother killed himself and she was mental over that. So anyway, she took pills once and she gassed herself, and one time she was dead for 20 minutes. And she come back. This is long before the people was talking about this. She told a story about seeing the light and all the stuff that everybody talks about. She come back telling people about it, and we never heard of it. Nobody heard of it before. It's a long time ago. So later it got verified with other people talking about it. Okay, she knew what she's talking about. But anyway, she's gone now. She did successfully kill herself. So anyway, that told me about some spirit things. So I'm getting this book and I'm reading it, and it's this Robert Monroe is reading all his experiences off he's had while he's done these out of bodies. He's visited dead people. When he went to these people that he was looking for, they were not of the age when they left. Their age was different, but they were the same people. Uh, that was in that book. Now, in that book, he talked about how he had done out of bodies, and he said there's a lifeline that comes from your chest to the back of the spirit's body. Okay, it's like a lifeline. It goes with you as far as you want to go. He can go wherever he wants to go, but that lifeline's there. In the book, he talked about evil demons will try to cut that line so you can't go back. So I'm listening, I'm taking in all this, like, okay. But the first thing he did was he talked about, I'm reading this book, and then it goes to a part where he tells you how to do and how to perform an out of body, what you have to do. Now, to begin with, you're supposed to be laid down with your head to the north, to the magnetic north of the world, your feet to the south, laid down quietly. You're supposed to concentrate and relax yourself and You got to think of certain things. It's in that book, and I'm not telling you all of it, but there's certain things in the book. But you go to that vibrational state that I was in. That vibrational state was put on me by God. I already know for a fact this is for real. That vibrational state was put on me from God. And I was directed to that book so I could read as to what was going on, why I had that. Okay. I didn't know it was from God back then. I just knew this is why I did that. So for quite a while in my life, I'm trying to wonder how'd that come about? I just don't know. Well, later I come out here in the country. I'm living out here. I'm a city boy. I've never lived in the country before. I got to move out here. I don't know why. I have to move out here. So I move out here, and one of the first things I do when I'm here, I used to watch the History Channel a lot. On the History Channel, there was a Mexican or New Mexico sheriff that had run across a Bigfoot, and somehow he recorded the sounds that it made. He didn't have a video, but he had a tape recorder. Somebody might have already seen this, know what I'm talking about, but it was on. I think it was History Channel. Anyway, he recorded that sound. I remember that sound. You can't duplicate that sound. It's something different. So where I live now, there's a huge hill, almost a mountain on one side of me, and going back in the back, it's hilly, and back over this way and wooded and stuff on the other side of me. I have 45 acres and it's spread out, and there's a lot of acreage around me. The road I live on I was the only one living on this road for quite a few years. Anyway, I heard that sound, and I told my wife back then that I was married to at the time, "It's Bigfoot." Thought I was goofy. Okay, think what you want. Well, anyway, that went on for a year or so. Then there was property down here for sale. A friend of mine owned some property, and he wanted to resell it to somebody else. So I had another friend come down looking at it. When they come down and look at it, they found it's down the road a couple miles. Well, maybe about a mile. When they found it, they went back here and was going over the property, found a footprint. I got a picture of it somewhere. They found a footprint, took pictures of it and stuff, and uh, it's a big footprint. I wasn't surprised because I've heard them here. I know. I just knew. So anyway, that was the first definite thing I knew about it. I could say definite. And then later, things were going on around here. It didn't make a lot of sense. I had my kids out here one time, and they was camping out outside. They wanted to stay in a tent all night. My son and his cousins, they was going to stay in this tent all night. They was going to be tough guys. Well, come along about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'm not sure what time it was. Here they come, beating on the door, wanting in. We told them, you ain't getting in now. You're staying out there, is what we told them. Well, they come beating on the door. They remember this real well. They're much older now. They're 30s and almost 40 years old. But anyway, while they were in the tent, they heard a bear killing a deer right up the hill just from where we was at. That's what they thought they heard. All this noise and what was going on. They're just beating on. We finally let them in. They're saying, there's a bear killing over here. Okay, well, I do have bears out here. I do got a lot of deer. And I got mountain lion out here. All these things that I'm saying, people are seeing and they're believing what I have to say about this. A lot of people didn't know this stuff was out here. So anyway, next day I go out, and where they said they heard all this, I couldn't find nothing. I didn't find anything. And if there had been something going on, there'd been blood or something going on, but it wasn't nothing. So anyway, that was just telling me something was going on. And later I figured it out with my what I deal with the foots right now. I had a foot here named Fuzzy. He was a jokester. And all he did was scare them kids in the room and laugh about it. Scared them in the house. That's the kind of things he did. He's a jokester. So anyway, all my foots had personalities. That was his. But anyway, uh, my kids remember all that. So that book of Robert Monroe, it explained to me what spirituality was when you can leave yourself. You can leave your body. It's exactly what the foots do. They can be spirit or they can manifest into physical. Now, that's been proven many a time. You'll hear where people have said, I just watched that foot. They're watching this foot and he goes behind a tree. And they sneak around, try to, he ain't there no more. He got behind a tree. There was guys that have been on Finding Bigfoot. I've heard this a couple times on there. Well, I used to kind of pay attention. I like to hear what the witnesses said. I didn't care about the people on the show, but I did like what the witnesses said. And uh, I've had a couple hunters on there say, "Hey, I bared my gun down on him. I was going to shoot him. He disappeared right in front of me, just gone." Yeah, they have that ability. They can cloak themselves. They can disappear. They can do what they want to do because they're from another realm. They're not from here. They've been here for long time. This is a lot of their home. This is it. But they're from another plane, let's say. I don't have a lot of exact details from them because they don't tell me everything. And I do not ask questions. As you know, you've probably heard of my videos. I don't ask questions. So anyway, I was led, I was given that vibration. I was led to the book to explain it to me for what I'm doing now. And when I'm putting this together, I'm thinking, man, the foots have been with me all this time. So I'm thinking the foots have been with me all this time. So they've set me up to get me out here to where I'm at with them. That's what I'm thinking. I'm a city boy. I don't belong out here. I do now. This is my home. But there's a lot of hard work getting to where we're at right now. Anyway, the foots was my assignment from God. It's the way it is. He was my assignment from God. And I'm not a religious person. I've never taken to I don't really care about religion. I never have. I'm supposed to read the Bible and learn things. I'm told to do. I've been told to do that. I'm trying. With my reading disability, it's hard. Plus, I got two bad eyes now. I got one's got a plastic lens in it, and the other one ain't right either. But I have to fight through it and try to read it. So I'm doing that. Which the funny part about it is my life has changed. I've changed my life a lot before I come out here. Things I've done or I do different, and I feel things differently than I did. Not saying I don't regret my life. Uh, I had a very wild life. Many people can tell you about that, but I don't have a bad conscience about my life except for ex-wives and girlfriends I shouldn't have done the way I did. And I went around and apologized to a lot of them. That was a big thing for me to do that. I don't know why I did it. So when I say I'm sorry for what I did, you uh, that was what I done. So my life has changed, and it changed gradually over the time, and now I'm at this point to where I'm finding out all these stuff that I was taught all this. God set me on all the bad things I've done. God knew what I was doing. Uh, it was my learning experiences for what I have to do. Some of you people are gonna think I'm really crazy with some of this, and but I gotta continue telling you this. Anyway, I see things and things come out of my mouth, and I prophesize things more or less. And God has told me I'm a prophet. Okay, I didn't think nothing of that in my life. I've done this all my life, never thought much about it. So anyway, I called out like with "We're going to be Canada." That just jumped out of my mouth. Now I don't want to get into politics, but I did call something out that come out of my mouth that, like, my friend Johnny, he was listening to a radio station, and uh, it was political stuff. And I just sat there and listened for a second, and something jumped out of my mouth. What was going on back then was when Obama was in office, and they're talking about this, that, and the other. And my buddy Johnny, that's who was watching it, he's my witness to this, jumped out of my mouth. What Obama is doing is going to kill the Democratic Party. I'm not political. I've never voted. I never had no use for politics nor religion. So the reason I never voted is because as a little boy, I used to get drug around the bars with my daddy. And I used to, election time, you go to a bar and them drunks all want to argue about their politics. And as a little boy, I'm listening to all these guys. Well, that one lied about this, and well, this here lied about that. And well, he did this and did that. And well, that one did this and did that. And they're all accusing each other of lying. I'm a little boy. I wanted to jump up on that bar and look those guys in the face and say, "What all you dumb son of a bitches vote for them for?" That was my thought of politics as a child. Well, as of today, I haven't changed much about it. A little bit, not much. Things are happening different right now. But for the most part, all those years, I've never voted, and my attitude with that's the same. They're all lying. What the hell do I want to vote for them for? They're going to do what they're going to do. That was my opinion back then. So one day, this was about 2 months after Donald Trump was in office, but a friend of mine named Matt and Michelle, they're married, and I'm there, and Matt's there, and he's on the computer doing his political thing that he does. And his wife's she's standing there, and I'm getting ready to go out the door, and Matt said something to me. And I'll try to remember everything I said because I have to ask Matt's wife what I said because she remembered it better than I did. Matt said something to me about political stuff, and I turned around, I shut the door, turned around, I said, "Look, Matt, this is not a battle between Democrats and Republicans." I said, "This is a battle between good and evil." I don't know where this comes from. This just comes out of my mouth. This is a battle between good and evil. I said, the corruption, the corruption is all going to get wiped out. All the corrupt are going to pay. They're going to be, how do I put it? I'm trying to think the exact words I said. Corruption will be eliminated, and the corrupt will be dealt with. That was what I said. The corrupt will be dealt with. So, and then I said 70% of Congress. Evidently, the Congress was there back then. I said 70% of Congress will be gone. I guess that's due to the corruption. I don't know. It might not even be that's Congress or whatever. That might be in the next one. But I said 70% of Congress will be gone. I said there'll be military tribunals. There'll be executions. Now, the reason I bring that up right now, I'm reminding everybody, the reason I bring that up right now is the thing they're having with the judges right now. I usually don't get into no politics on my channel. But this all pertains to things that with the foots and what I do and about me too. So right now they're having all trouble with these supposedly these judges that are they're going to try to eliminate that are letting all these criminals off. And I've seen this, and I do know this is a fact. They're letting criminals off for next to nothing for totally all kind of crazy stuff. Well, the whole thing everybody talks about these midterm elections. If it goes the right way, they're going to impeach a lot of these judges and have proper judges in there. Okay. And they're talking about indicting a lot of these people that are in the government for treason stuff. That's what I'm hearing. Well, if that doesn't work, it's been discussed that military tribunals, the military steps in, there'll be tribunals. That is what I called out. And that's being discussed right now in the government. If you keep up on all of it, I don't know if any of you do, but something I called out, another thing that I called out is happening. After that, I'm trying to think what else was said. I said 70% of we're going to get a paycheck. We're going to get a paycheck from the government. These things are kind of talked about. They're talking about eliminating our taxes, giving us money. That's been talked about when Elon Musk went through the Doge thing or whatever. They were talking about sending us money, which we ain't ever got yet, but it's been discussed, which it ain't over with yet. Keep your hopes up. We might get our money. But I said another thing, and I hate to repeat it, but it's what come out of my mouth. There'll be a public execution. John Brennan is supposed to have a public execution. I've said it before, and I quit saying it, but I have to bring out exactly what come out of my mouth at the time, and I don't know why, because I don't even know really much about John Brennan. That I found out later. So, you know, sue me for slander, whatever you want. I'm not saying anything against him. I'm just saying that's what come out of my mouth is whatever. I have no control what comes out of my mouth when this happens. So anyway, what else was there? I'm trying to remember all of it. I haven't talked to Michelle for a long time. I don't know if she's remember anything else or not. But anyhow, these things kind of freak me out that I'm saying all of this. But that's what happened. And like I said, to verify the fact of what I say when it comes out of my mouth is like a long time ago I brought up about we'll be Canada. Well, then I knew that come out of my mouth, so something's going to happen with it. So years later, Trump comes up talking about making Canada our 51st state, which that's not out of the realms of possibility right now. It looks really pretty good, actually. So things like that come out of my mouth, they happen. I've done this all my life. That is what this other part of this video is about. I spoke of Robert Monroe explaining to me in that book how you have the out of body. Your spirit can leave your body. I'm reading this book and like I'm halfway not believing this, but guy wouldn't write all these lies. Well, I want you all to go look at a video that's out, and you better do it quick because it's on YouTube. You can look it up. I think it's called The Secrets They Don't Want You to Know. And It's about the out of body. Talks about Robert Monroe, the man I talked in the book about. This is a video somebody did about him. He has his own uh, college or technical institute. I don't know what it is, but he died. He died back a good long time ago. But he was a businessman, and they explain how he did all this stuff that he did, and he built this institute, what they call it, Monroe Institute. But they teach people how to do this out of body. Well, the reason the government don't want you to know about it, and I know this for a fact, there's things years ago when the internet first come out, some college kids up at Ohio State campus were on the internet somehow, and I can't remember exact details because wasn't concerned with this high tech stuff. It's all high tech bullshit to me. They talked about the CIA catching this critter. Yeah, right. Okay. But I remember this. I remember the story, and it was on some kind. I don't know where it'd be at today, if it even possible could even find it. But these guys had this information where the CIA found this critter and captured it, which I don't buy that knowing what I know now. But they captured this critter, put it in a room. They described it. It was a Bigfoot, is what they described, and they had it under cameras, in a totally locked up cubicle room. And they told how this is back 70s, I don't know, early 70s, I don't know, long time ago. CIA captured this thing, they put it in this room, and are watching it, and all of a sudden, poof, it turned into a ball of light and left. I know the Foots can do this. I do know that for a fact. Back then, I says, this is crazy, college kids, I don't know what they get into. But anyway, CIA done this a long time ago. They knew it. Well, the CIA also dabbled into what Mr. Monroe come up with. CIA tried to figure out how to do out of bodies, teach people how to do out of bodies, so they could go around and when you do an out of body, you can go anywhere you want. Go anywhere you want. I never practiced it because myself, I was leery of the demons that would cut your lifeline, and you didn't come back. You didn't go back to your body if that lifeline was cut. I haven't heard that talked about in his later books. I haven't read them, but there was things said on this video that they didn't say nothing about this on there, but it was in his first book. So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you people is all the things I've told you over the years, it's all fact. It all comes out eventually. The truth comes out with all of it. So I have other things to tell you right now that I know from God. Okay. 3 days of darkness is coming. Now, it was supposed to have happened already. The 3 days of darkness was supposed to have already happened. The rapture was supposed to have happened. Why it hasn't happened is because the vibration of the earth has changed, which people make up the vibration of the earth. This is my opinion. I haven't asked questions about it, but it's my opinion of what I think. Vibrations of the earth has changed. Now, what has changed? The war thing. Okay. Let me tell you something else going on. You're not going to believe, people's not going to believe me. They're going to think I'm nuts. That's fine. I have to put it out regardless. Our planet has been surrounded by a lot of extraterrestrials from other far off places. Why? Because we are a nuclear threat. You've heard many a times how, if you paid attention, how The UFOs have went over missile silos, screwed with everything, shut them down, turned them on, did all kind of crazy stuff. When these extraterrestrial beings, or flying saucers or whatever they are, showed up there. You can verify all this. You can dig into it and find out. But they have done that. And they are a lot of them here. I don't know how many are here now. I don't know what's going on because things are settling down somewhat. But they are here because we didn't need to go up in a big ball of atomic explosion. That would hurt the whole atmosphere of the whole universe. It would cause some kind of a catastrophic thing in the universe. I don't know, but all these other planets or whatever are concerned with it. God's concerned with it. Now, when I done the when I was talking to Matt and Michelle, when I come out of my mouth about the military tribunals and all that, the last thing I said was, when this is all over, everything will be good. Which told me there's not going to be a third world war. There's not going to be an atomic war. It's not going to happen. And this is, by me feeling that, I'm usually right. Things are happening right now, what I'm looking into. Mr. Trump and Xi and Putin, they're the main powers of this world. And I think they all put their heads together and said, hey, this is stupid. Common sense. We all need to work together, not have these problems. This is all common sense. And apparently, Donald Trump is exploiting that common sense thing and getting rid of the hostilities. So everything is being taken over by common sense, I believe, which all the people in the world are starting to see a lot of different things, seeing the corruption in their governments and other stuff, and things are straightening up, which I think this is what's changing the vibrations of the earth. And for the fact these vibrations are changing, God has been holding off the 3 days of darkness and the rapture and everything. He's a living God. You know, you look at the Bible, it tells you things. Okay, I haven't read it, but there's no set date for the end of the world, no set date for the rapture, nothing like that. And it is a living God. God lives, and He is watching us. He's not going to do the rapture when He thinks that there's souls changing to the good side of things. There's people in Congress changing from Democrats to Republicans, and they're changing their lives. There's religions. There's people dropping out of religions and becoming Christians, and all these changes, which apparently are good because God is postponing everything to see what we're going to do. I guess it's in the Bible. I haven't got to it yet. I haven't read it. That man can change his destiny with things going on. Man can change these things by straightening himself up. I don't know. I've changed. I've had people. I don't feel no different than I ever did. I don't. I don't do. I can't say. I really don't do the things I used to do. I look at things a lot different. And now that God has actually come to me, well, He didn't come to me. Gabriel did. But now that I'm aware of Him and I talk to Him, and I understand what I'm supposed to do somewhat. I have other assignments to do. Bigfoot was my assignment. That was what I did. I brought Bigfoot into people's lives. Now, speaking of which, I told you all for a lot of years, Bigfoot's coming out to the public. They're coming out. Everybody want me to get pictures, and you don't have, I don't need to get pictures. They're going to be out. Okay. And I've told people how to deal with them. Treat them like your best friends. Don't, I'm telling you right now, any of you fools out there that think you want to go shoot one, you're an idiot. You think you want to go out and capture one, you're another idiot. So don't do nothing stupid. That you're making problems for yourself and everybody else doing that stuff. But I think enough people in the world right now are smartening up to it. I don't know how long it'll take them before they can just walk down the street with us, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like I had Flower, she was with me for 16 years, always with me. I was her assignment, I guess. But we established a good relationship between us. I mean, we have a love thing between us. I never physically seen her. I did see her. I can't say that. I did see her. We never had been in contact or nothing like that, but we knew that there was an attachment there. So it told me a lot about the Foots. They're something else. They're way beyond us in a lot of ways. But they can go to their realms or wherever they go that have not been put privy to a lot of things. Like I said, I never ask questions. They tell me what I need to know, and I've met a lot of them, all the way down to Alabama. Gatlinburg. There was a clan in Gatlinburg I met, and met the ones in Alabama. And there's a lot have been through here. Had a lot come through here. If you watch all my videos, you'll hear all this. It's all facts. And whether you people want to believe me or not, that's up to you. But if you watch all the videos, everything pretty much will verifies itself. Right to the point. My main thing was Edgar from that video from How to Hunt. He talked about Edgar, the nuclear physicist, that he went to Russia, met with him in Russia. I'm making this short. He met with him in Russia, and the Foots over there told him things, showed him things to come back and tell everybody. It's everything I've been doing for 16 years. Well, I've done probably more, but he's not telling on that video. He ain't telling everything that he knows either, that's fine. So you might have more come out from that. I don't know, but the Foots are coming out. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Where I live, probably 20, 30 miles up the road, a lot of sightings. Just recently, there's been a bunch of sightings out west. I was told there's a lot of them out west. Now, everything's been quiet for a long time. Now there's sightings are popping up. Okay. I was their ambassador. When they were here with me, all the Foots around the world knew who I was. They didn't all know my name, but they knew they had an ambassador. There's Foots up in Canada, in somewhere on an island. I don't know what it is, but they don't like humans. Those are ones that do not like humans. People don't go to that island. People in Canada, they know about what I'm talking about. Anyway, they even know who I was. They knew they had an ambassador. I'm out here talking for them. That's what I did. This was my job from God. I didn't know that. I just did the job. I did what I felt I had to do. They were here. They become my friends. And like I have to tell people, they're not nothing to be afraid of. Treat them good. It's what I said. Now, I did tell everybody I call them demonic ones. There is bad ones involved somewhat, but here's where this goes. When the rapture comes, I'm telling you what's happening. When the rapture comes, all the children will go up. All the animals will go up. There'll be no animals here. None. The only thing that's going to be here is the non-believers and the demonics. That's what'll be here. There'll be no animals here. So everybody better be a vegetarian because there's not going to be no meat to eat. And the demonics, I don't know. We're pretty weak compared to some of these things out here, and I believe we're going to be food for some of these demonics. The people will be left here. They'll be dealing with the bad. None of the demonic people are going in the rapture. Ain't happening. So these are things I've been being told, and I hope I'm doing this right. I think I am right now. If I can keep all my stories straight. I'm told things and like, okay. Uh, well, to date, that is what's going on. When the 3 days of darkness coming, I don't know, but it is coming. There's other people that hit my channel talk about it, and they know. People knew about me more than I did. In fact, since I have since I have been speaking with God, I learned a lot about myself that I did not know. A lot. I'm kind of surprised. I've been forgiven for all my bad. I had to confess to what I did. I talked about all the bad things I've done, and I can remember. I've been forgiven for all that because of what I am and what I'm doing. Uh, some of my people that I, in my past, did not believe what I'm doing right now. Like I said, my past was pretty wild. I don't like, I don't even really supposed to be talking about it. But God changes you. God does what He wants with you. God does exactly what He wants when He wants to do it, and He does everything for a reason. You know, myself, I had to question this, and that's how I found things out about myself. I had a rotten childhood. I had parents that weren't the best, and I remember as a little boy, I I prayed to God because my mother taught me to say prayers. Okay, so I figured there's a God, I'll talk to Him. As a little boy, I don't know, my mom and dad was doing crazy stuff, and I got the butt into everything as a kid. And I asked God, I said, God, help me. Why do I have to go through this? As a little boy, I asked it. Because as a little boy, I used to talk about politics. I was a smart little kid. But I said, God, why do I have to do this? I never got no answers, and things never changed. I'm like, maybe there ain't a God. I don't know. I think there is. I didn't know. But I never got no answers, and I still had a miserable childhood. Now that I'm older, God explained that to me. That was my learning experience. That was for me to know what's out there that people have to go through so I can deal with things for people. I can help people. Uh, I've seen things that most people haven't seen. The only thing that I haven't seen, I haven't been in a war. And I tried to enlist years ago in the Marines. I had a sciatic nerve screwed up in my back, and I didn't even think about it. I couldn't walk right. I used to do weightlifting as a kid, and I crushed the spine, crushed the disc. Couldn't walk around on account of this leg, and didn't know why. Found out later because after I realized I couldn't go through boot camp, I got draft papers. I had to go down and go to the draft board, and grab them, bend over. I can't bend over. I mean, you can't. I can't bend over. It rips my leg apart. So I had to go to the hospital and explain all this. I got deferred from the draft, and I really wanted to go because I lost a lot of friends in Vietnam, and it really bothered me. It still bothers me today. I have a guilt thing for not being able to serve and help. I know I could have made a difference in my head, but that's irrelevant to anything going on. So what I'm just trying to tell you is there's a real living God, and you need to get next to him. You need to talk to him. You need to talk to God. Just lay there and say, God, this is me. I want to talk to you. And you have to feel it in your heart. You have to feel it. Uh, I don't know how to explain that. I'll tell you something that I've been told. There's a lot of preachers and a lot of them out there that you would think they're going in a rapture. Nope. A lot of them out there aren't going because they don't have it in here. You have to feel that you want to talk to God. You really have to feel this is God and I want to do what you want me to do. When all this come about, when all this come about with me, and I realized that Gabriel was here and this is real when I talk to God, the whole bit. When I can't give you all the details, but that's the bottom line of it. But anyway, uh, I told God that very day, whatever you want from me, God, I will do. I know you're real. I know this is for real. This is no joke. This is for real. Whatever you want, God, I will do. That's what I will do today. That's why I'm telling you this right now. Uh, this is not easy for me to do, but it's becoming easier because it's factual and I'm not making nothing up. I'm not being crazy. So anyway, that's how I was associated with the Foots and how it happened. That was my task, my assignment. I didn't even know it was an assignment, was to bring the Foots out and tell people about them. They came to me when I got this property. They end up coming over here and inter- basically introducing themselves. I talked to them for a long time. One reason, one reason I was cut out for this probably is because these big things don't scare me. I have some kind of mental problem. I've never had no fear of things, which people in my past would tell you that. So anyway, the bottom line of it is I'm here today. I'm me today. And whatever God wants, I will do. I'd like to see all of you come along. Just talk to God. All you got to do is just talk to Him. I don't, people say pray to God. I don't know anything about praying. I don't know how to pray. I don't know anything about that. I just know I talk to God and He knows what I'm saying. And I'll tell you something else. I can't give you the details, but I will tell you something I do know for a fact. God has a sense of humor. Yeah, God has a sense of humor. I've learned that. That's pretty good. uh, we're all in for quite a bit if we get with God. There's a lot coming. The rapture's coming. 3 days of darkness is coming. I can't tell you when. It's like I couldn't tell you when the Foots are coming out, but guess what? They're coming out now. I'm not their ambassador any longer. I don't have any Foots on my property with me any longer. The dog man, he's with the Foot somewhere, and I don't know what other kind of spiritual things have been around me, but I do have a few things coming. I have things watching over me. I'm a protected person. I'm protected from a lot of evil. All there's the stories I can tell you that Sharon, my woman here, she's seen evil things around me. She can see things, and she's told me about things, and I've went and talked to God about what she's seen, and it got taken care of. It got taken care of. The evil things around me got taken care of. I can't deny this. I'm not a mental case. I'm just telling you the way it really is. So anyway, I'm gonna put this out, and hopefully you all get something out of it. And hope oh, hope I can get back with you with some kind of good news or something. 'Cause I'm just trying to tell you that what I've done is for real, and God's for real, and help me with it. Help me with it. Tell other people. Tell other people. Say, hey, this crazy old guy lives in the woods. He's talking about God. Put him on my channel or something. But I'll try to do what I can do. If anything else comes up, I'll get back with you. Oh, one other thing I got to do before I forget. I have a lady that follows me. Her name is Anna King. She asked me, what human food does the flower and her mate like? I had to go to somebody else for that associates with them, that knows them better than me because they're together and are not around me. Anyway, you're not going to believe this one. Flower and her mate that she's with now like Colonel Sanders chicken, KFC. It's the best I can tell you, Anna. But I did put that out here for Anna King. Sometimes my listeners, I I use some of their comments on some of the videos. I had done that before, but that was one I had to bring that up. So thank you for that, Anna. Well, I'm off here. I'll see you the next video I can do, and hopefully I got some good news for you. And send me some comments. I need comments. I like to know what you people feel about what I'm saying. I mean, I get some people tell me I'm nuts. It's okay. I don't care. I want to hear all this. So I thank you much, and God bless you all. Thank you.